don't even know how well you guys can see me right now. You know what, that's fine, that's good. What is going on, guys? Spooky Guy 444 here, coming at you with a brand new Home Depot unboxing. Now, admittedly, I am a little late to the party, but I still really wanted to do a video on this guy because I want an excuse to open it, and I want an excuse to make money while I'm opening it, just to be fair to you guys. So, we have here the largest retail animatronic ever made. This, my ladies and gents, is the 15-foot Worricrow from Home Depot. This is the largest prop in my collection, period, and it is, yeah, like I said, the largest animatronic ever sold at a retail store. This thing is an absolute beast, and I cannot wait to open it up. As you can see, we are doing it in dark because I did not feel like setting a giant prop up. This thing weighs 100 pounds in 95-degree weather. So we are going to be doing it here in the brisk evening. Might be a little bit different of a setup. I'm also going to be doing this for the Megalodon Shark, who will be the unboxing right after this. But let's not waste any more time. I'm Spooky Guy 444, and this is a 15-foot Worricrow. Let's crack it open. Glasses are low-key coming off. I can't see anything outside right now. Okay. Wow, that's blinding. Those floods really hurt. First off, we have his base, and yeah, this is like some of the most durable feeling metal I've ever felt filler on a SBI prop. Unfortunately, no welds on the bottom. Well, there is, but they're really shoddy. But all of the side welds and the top welds are looking spectacular. And this is a really sturdy base. This is actually very similar feeling metal, especially right here, to my prototype Poltergeist clown, interestingly enough. So maybe it's a new metal that SBI is working with. That, if true, would be amazing. This looks like a hand. The other hand. What? What am I looking at? Why is this so heavy? What? Yes. This looks like it's his outfit. God only knows what. Yes. A piece of his leg. Another piece of his leg. Probably also another piece of his leg. Here's his pelvis. Interestingly enough, normally this is like the heaviest part of the 12-footers, like Inferno and Skelly. This part's really heavy. This is very lightweight in comparison. It might seem hard to believe, but it's another leg piece. Yes, again, yeah. This piece has his control box. This looks like also the pelvis. What? Yo, this is gonna be one of the worst setups I've ever done. Something in here is heavy. I'm guessing it's poles. His adapter. Definitely more poles. The bottom of his stump. Ah. Even more poles. His torso. Wow, that's big. Finally, the head. You can see it is very large. Not the largest head I have, for sure, but it looks very good. I love the almost burlap texture to it. It doesn't really look like a pumpkin. It actually looks like a burlap head, almost like heat dried onto a scarecrow, kind of. That's the best way I can describe it, but it looks really good. Really, really excited to set this guy up. So let's not waste any more time. Let's key off this box out of the way, and let's get busy. Ah! Oh well. Alright, dudes and dudettes, it's time to start this, hopefully. I'm praying. First thing we're going to do is we are going to just put on his little stump thingy-majiggy at the bottom of his base. It's just going to slide on just like that. Up next, we're going to get these two poles labeled C and C, and they are just going to slide on like so. Now, we got to make sure that they are going into the corresponding areas properly. Just like that. Now, they are all also supposed to get wing nuts. I don't know where they are. It's very dark out, and maybe I just don't have them. I don't know. But we are just going to raw dog it and not use the wing nuts and hope for the best. And then coming up next, we are going to slide on part D, which is this double piece here. And that is also just going to slide on like so. Now, as you can see, these are supposed to be wing nut pieces, and the snap locks don't start until we get up here, which is interesting. never quite seen a setup like this before, but it makes sense because you have to keep this thing so secure. And then up next, we're gonna get the stump piece labeled E, and we're just gonna slide it on and then twist it until we find the part that it fits in properly, just like so. And then we're gonna go ahead and find the next one labeled F and slide that on top as well. Make sure it fits nice and snug like so. Next, we're gonna get the pole labeled G. And we are just gonna snap lock that baby in, I hope. This one's got a snap lock wing nut hybrid, so I'm thinking this is correct. So it's gonna slide in and then we're gonna wiggle it, make sure it's in just like so. Now, interestingly enough, the way that this is built, the two prongs that kind of stick out on the end of this piece are pushing down on this, making it more secure, which I gotta say, that is amazing. That is such a smart design feature. Very, very appreciative that they attempted that, because a common issue with Skellies and Infernos is those little pieces wiggling around a lot. So I'm very happy to see that. Huzzah! I'm a silly boy. You put it on this way. This is the piece that has some wires. It's got the IR sensor. A lot of other fun little toys for girls and boys. Just like so. And as you can see, we're now reaching the 7-foot territory. We're going to put this piece on. Very interesting design choice. So we're going to slide it through, just kind of drop it down, slow. Make sure we can get it through the hole. As you can see, we have now had to lay this puppy down. That's because we are on part I. Now, I'm going to double check it. I believe that it's going to go on this one. Now, I say that because it appears to have a wire harness coming off right here, and we're going to have to connect these. These are some super heavy duty wire harnesses too. Definitely thicker than most common Depot SVI outdoor rated ones. Like these are fat. Up next, we're going to get the part labeled K, and that's going to go and just slide on here. We need to make sure that we're matching the proper spots. I have to wait a little lot to really try to get this thing on. It is a big piece. Then up next, we're going to get pole L, and that's going to slide in here. Next up, we're going to get part M, and it's going to be just like that other piece where we just slide it on and make sure that it'll pop in place properly, just like so. That one's looking a lot easier, so that'll make this a lot easier as well once we get to it. As I can see this part right here, being a big pain in the behind. All right, next up, we have now come to this point, which I'm not excited for. So I'm going to be doing a lot of fighting to get this piece on. I can already tell. This is already looking like a complete and utter nightmare. But we are going to make it happen in the name of Honor content. Alright, up next, we got part O. And that is his main torso piece. Which appears like it's just going to slide on. But I think what I'm going to do first is attempt to actually plug in these wire harnesses here. Got 4 of them coming off of them. And now, once you connect the wire harnesses, you can just slide on this piece like so. And now, up next, we're going to get the main cable piece right here, and we're going to twist it in. Alright, after digging in my butt in the last 20 minutes, I have located his outfit, and it seems like actually getting the outfit on is going to be relatively easy. We're just going to have to try and find the slot here, which I have already located. I have located it. It's right here. So we're going to feed this through first. I got it. Let's go. And now we're getting the piece labeled S, and that is going to smack on the end of this right here. It appears to be a twist lock, but along with the twist lock is also a screw. I really do appreciate the amount of, like, I guess, security measures that they kind of took with this thing. It is really good to see. Only thing is, how do I, oh, there we go. And then we twist. Beautiful. And now, I'm not going to cut this part in, but we're going to do the exact same process on the next arm over. You won't even be able to see it anyway. All right, we are finally nearing the end of this setup. We are up next going to put on his head. Now, before I put the head on, I'm gonna go ahead and do what I just did with the body, and that is basically just connecting this wire harness first. Kind of gotta be a little careful because it'd be cooling on it, but do that first, and then we're gonna snap lock on that head. Finally, the last thing that we're gonna do is put on his hat, just like so. Now, what's interesting about his hat is that it actually has an entire chin strap. So this might be a little difficult at first, just because of the angle we're doing it at. But I think if we start from the bottom, work our way up just like that, it'll look beautiful. And just like that, we can now get our Worricrow up, get the supports on, and he's ready to go. So the next time you're gonna see him, he's gonna be up and in action. So here we go. All right. How do I? Oh, I want to get a shot. Yeah, I know this looks really weird, but just bear with me. Now that you have seen him in action, let's go over the pros and the cons of the Worricrow. Starting with the cons. Setup's a nightmare. About what I expected. Between some oopsies with a wire harness that I didn't plug in or fell out or something. Being unable to locate the screws for a while, found them in between his back plates. And along with the cable being too short, this took me about an hour to an hour and a half to set up by myself, which it says you're supposed to get 3 people for this. And I think that if you aren't someone who's experienced, I guess, then that is probably going to be the best thing to do. You're going to definitely want at least another person to help you with this absolute monster of an animatronic. This thing is standing at 15 feet tall. This is the largest a retail animatronic has ever been. Inflatables, of course, are bigger, but we've never had an animation, a full plastic prop like this be that size, and that is honestly insane. So while it is a con, it is justified. Another thing, I think it should have had a constant mode. I understand that it really doesn't make too much sense. It kind of maybe would have looked goofy, but I think if some people are going to want it to be constantly moving. But me personally, I honestly think I like it better as a static. Like, I think it looks great just static like that. However, the animation even being there is a fantastic touch, and I'm very happy about that. The sensor I thought was pretty bad at first, but while I was doing the demo, it did work out pretty well in my favor. I will say that. The quality is also very, very good. It seems very, very sturdy. I actually don't have the cable in him at all right now, and he's not leaning forward or backward or anything like that. He seems super well grounded, super heavy, and that's something that's amazing. I think the 15-foot Phantom, you know, just as tall as this thing, was like 70 pounds. This thing's got a whole 40, 50 pounds on it, which is good. That's what we love to see. And now for the pros. Obviously, the lighting looks amazing. I love the lighting in the rib cage, the lighting in the head, both of them having flicker effects. I think it's a really nice touch. I think it looks really good. And then, of course, it has idle lighting, so the lights are going to stay on no matter what, as long as it is activated, whether it's light-only mode or the sensor/timer mode, because it is actually a thing that is together, which is strange, but I guess I get it. Also, the detail work is phenomenal. The sculpting on every single piece is genuinely so impressive, especially for the sheer size and price. This guy comes in at $400, which is just as much as the original 15-foot Phantom was. And I think it's pretty clearly obvious which one is a lot more worth the money. Like, it's not even a contest. Gallicrow and Worricrow are absolute units of animatronics that I think it may take a long time for any company to even try and attempt to top, even Home Depot themselves. But I always say this every year, I can't see them getting better, I can't see them improving, and somehow Home Depot just, they do it again every year, and it's baffling to me. But that's why I love this thing so much. It is just such an absolute monster of an animatronic, and it is fantastic. It is an incredible set piece. Every yard that has this thing is going to get the oohs, it's going to get the ahs. I'm not even sponsored. This is just full personal glaze. incredible piece. Monster, probably my favorite animatronic of the year, at least top 3. Gotta think about it, but it's at least a top 3 animatronic of 2025. This thing is unfathomable. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I do apologize for having to film this at night, just really didn't want to set it up in 90-degree weather with the wind and the ACs blasting. But here we are. He's done, he's ready, he's beautiful, he's majestic, and I really don't want to take it down, but I feel like I'm gonna have to. But that is all for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Spooky Guy 444. Stay tuned for later this weekend where we will be unboxing the Megalodon Shark, another absolutely awesome piece from Depot this year. I'm very excited to show off, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.